Welcome to the fourth episode of Nitro on the Go. After months of COVID lockdown, the authorities in Thailand have eased restrictions. We're going to start this week's show with a peek at this year's edition of the Bangkok International Motor Show.
I get it done, but you should know that. Shine like a sun of 101, you should know that. I get the front and in the back, you should know that. No need to stun, it's never cap, you should know that. All I know, 10 toes, never fold, bang roll, on the go, ice wall, ice wall, ice wall. Came for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, and play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in. For my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in.
Welcome once again to the fourth episode of Nitro on the Go. Now that you've had a chance to check out the highlights of this year's Bangkok International Motor Show, be sure to check out the full feature by Ed Ellison on nitro.com. This week's show is a little special as we have our very first guest on Conversations with Nitro. But right before that, a quick look at the latest news blowing up online. It's time now for Nitro Boost. Since it was first revealed in the fourth quarter of 2014, and yes, we were there at the official unveiling, the Mercedes AMG GT range has been dropping panties for close to 6 years. Stunningly evocative from all angles, each and every single variant, starting from the 469 horsepower GT, the 515 horsepower GTS, the 550 horsepower GTC, and the craziest 577 horsepower GTR, were all extramarital affairs waiting to happen. Even the stretched AMG GT 4-door version that was created to scare the living souls out of 4 fully grown adults was a stunner. But you can now delete all that from your memory because in their pursuit for perfection or insanity, the engineers at AMG have finally unveiled the wildest and most hardcore version to date. Introducing the Mercedes AMG GT Black Series. Equipped with the most powerful AMG V8 engine currently at their disposal, the mad scientists have squeezed out 730 horsepower from its 4-liter bi-turbo power plant. Integrated into its extreme and aggressive styling are active aerodynamic technology pulled straight out from the GT3 race car version. Speaking of which, since we're not allowed to drive an actual race car on public roads, you would reckon this to be the closest thing to a GT3 race car. Wrong, because there's an additional AMG track package upgrade that you could get for this weapon of mass destruction, which comes with carbon fiber bucket seats, 4-point seat belts, and even a lightweight full titanium roll cage. I'm feeling lightheaded, and it isn't because I'm out of breath. Blood flow has now completely gone to the head. Okay, let's slow things down a little bit. Hot on the heels after Audi premiered their Q4 Sportback e-tron concept, which we spoke of in last week's episode, and maybe with a mild case of FOMO, BMW recently pulled the covers off their first ever fully electric iX3. Now before I show you the car, here are some photos that nobody understands unless of course you're an engineer. Now I'm a huge fan of the current range of BMW X cars, especially the ultra luxurious X7, which by the way costs well over $500,000 here in Singapore. So when it was announced that the iX3 was to be unveiled, I waited eagerly in front of my computer during its online world premiere last week. There you have it. And if you're wondering why it looks so familiar, it is because it looks exactly like an X3. So there isn't much to talk about in terms of styling. It does, however, sound like the freaking cool hoverboard from the 1989 movie Back to the Future 2. True story. The iX3 is propelled by a single electric motor sitting on its rear axle and produces 210 kilowatts, equivalent to 286 horsepower, accelerates from 0 to 100 in 6.8 seconds, and is electronically limited to a top speed of 180 kilometers per hour. That's as exciting as it gets. So, back to the Black Series. Will I buy one? Absolutely, but only after I figure out how to print money from my state-of-the-art bubble jet printer. I mean, just looking at it makes me want to question my sexuality. I think they call it objectophilia, a form of sexual attraction focused on inanimate objects. Yes. What about the iX3? Will I buy one? Well, absolutely not. And not because it doesn't look good, it does. But since I know that within my lifetime, I will witness the extinction of gasoline-powered cars and motorcycles, I'm in no real rush to electrify my modes of transportation. Not yet. Well, that's all the time we have for you in this week's segment of Nitro Boost. Next up, our first ever Conversations with Nitro. But before we get there, Bilstein, the suspension brand paranoid about safety, quality, and durability, as well as being synonymous with motorsports, have released earlier this year their newest range of high-performance shock absorbers. Introducing the new EVO Coilover suspension systems, a premium motorsports-inspired series offering an even higher degree of performance with maximum durability. Let's first talk about what you see here, namely the EVO SE and the EVO S variants. In essence, both systems are similar in their capabilities, developed not just for your car to look better, as they offer a maximum lowering of up to 70mm. They were also developed with street performance in mind, increasing your safety tolerance, especially when pushed to the limits, and enhancing your agility, traction, and overall handling prowess. The only difference between the two is that the EVO SE was designed to plug and play with your car's inbuilt adaptive system, the E standing for electronics, whereas the EVO S was designed for cars without the electronic adaptive control. These systems were built for those of you who enjoy the occasional bursts of driving pleasure. Being one of the most recognized brands in the world for motorsports, it should come to no surprise that the top-of-the-line option from this range be truly race-inspired, developed for maximum everything, allowing for the highest possible cornering speeds, copious amounts of traction, and super glue levels of grip. It's also equipped with a 10x10 Pro Click adjustment system, allowing you to set bump and rebound stages individually, so you get to fine-tune your dampers with 100 adjustment possibilities. Now, I've seen these shock absorbers in the metal, and in all honesty, they look and feel super sexy. I was tempted to get a set just to hang them up on my wall as an art piece. So if you're in the market to upgrade, then my advice to you is to contact your local dealer right now. Well, okay, maybe not right now. Call them after you're done watching this episode, because next up is Conversations with Nitro. We have a very special guest joining us for this week's Conversations with Nitro. Having founded EduTorque back in 2010, Mr. Kelvin Lim and his team led the way as Singapore's first and only company that specializes in automotive education. The company works with various organizations, institutions, and schools, conducting lessons on automotive engineering and motorsports. EduTorque also offers a variety of automotive certification courses and workshops, varying in complexities and specialities to cater to different age groups and audiences. They continue to pave the way in linking enthusiasts with academic and real-life applications. Time now to zoom in. Good afternoon, Kelvin, and thank you for joining us on Conversations with Nitro. And congratulations on hitting your 10th anniversary for EduTorque. Please share with our viewers what are some of your reasons for starting EduTorque.
Hi, Hong. Yes, EduTorque was started as a marriage of my two greatest passions. The first one is teaching, and second one is cars. Since young, I love JDM cars and I will always buy car magazines, car model kits to fuel my passion. My dream car when I got my license, I believe, was the Mitsubishi EVO 6. To me, that was the ultimate car for me. Well, as for my teaching background, I was an MOE teacher for 4 years, the HOD for 2 years, when I decided to leave the service in 2010 to start EduTorque. Now, at that time, science of motor vehicles was in the science syllabus, and I saw a gap in which there was an opportunity for me to add value to the students by creating a customized and interesting curriculum to inspire, educate, and hopefully ignite their passion in automotive and motorsports industry.
Right. That's brilliant.
And over this course of the past 10 years, what are some of your most important goals and targets? And did you feel like you have achieved them?
Well, for the first 2 years, my initial target was to reach out to 10 schools per year. Well, the task was very daunting and challenging initially, as some teachers did not have a good impression of the car and motorsports industry.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought that I'm there to teach them the wrong set of values to their students. So luckily, as I was a teacher before, and I know how they think, so I created a well-thought-out course curriculum by my team. We managed to convince them what EduTorque promotes is really educational and fun. So we managed to hit our goal in our second year in 2011. Since then, we continue to revise our curriculum yearly, develop our own textbook, forge new partnerships, all the common goal of sparking interest, passion, and change any negative mindset of the automotive and motorsports industry, which teachers and students may currently have.
Right.
So currently, we have already gone to, I think, around 40% of the available secondary schools in Singapore.
Oh, wow. 40% of the available secondary schools in Singapore. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Well, that was the first part. I mean, our initial goal was that, so we actually surpassed our initial goal, and I have to thank the team for that. Really, really, without the team support, it's really tough to hit the target.
Right.
And in 2014, one of our goals was to expand the business and target different audiences. We tried to go regional with our curriculum, but that was put on hold when the school's syllabus changed, and MOE removed the the science of motor vehicles portion from the science exams. So our challenge was to realign our curriculum again to make it more relevant to the general science syllabus instead. And we start our marketing campaign to get teachers to see value. So luckily, that was again a success, because teachers took us initially because they could not really teach the science of motor vehicles portion properly, or to engage the students. And that's where we came in to actually take over the curriculum and educate them on this portion, which was tested in their exams. But when they removed it, we have to find ways to make them realize that we can still give them value and inspire their students and to learn better about the general science topics instead. Yeah. So luckily, with our good reputation and good reviews by both secondary schools, students, and teachers, our new course was considered a success. And I'm very thankful to all my clients, industry partners, staff who made this a success. Yeah.
Well, I have a copy of one of your textbooks here, and I have to say, it is coming from a publishing background. I have to say I understand all the hard work that goes behind a publication like this. I have a side question to ask. This is a bit of a curveball. How difficult is it for you to balance your passion towards educating while EduTorque being a business, between the two?
Well, it's actually quite a big challenge. Initially, all our main business comes from school programs and school business. But there is basically a gap in terms of trying to get the profit up, because for school programs, we follow the school timetable. So when it's school holidays, basically we have no business.
Right.
So it's very, very, it follows a certain cycle. So there are certain lull periods which I was always cracking my head. Our team discussed and how to generate income during this period. So only in 2017 that we actually realized that we could actually branch out and try to target maybe NUS and NTU tertiary students, as well as even the public youths, and to engage them. Because for the first 5 to 6 years, we were very focused on MOE school business. And then only in 2017, we decided to branch out to conduct courses for NUS and NTU. Thankfully, we have very strong partners and sponsors such as Moto Bilstein, Bridgestone, Master Shine, and VP Racing Fuels, which actually help us to craft programs and coordinate to give talks to these tertiary students.
Right.
And through that, we can get some sponsorships from our partners, and that will help us in our revenue generating process.
Okay, understood. Makes a lot of sense. So you guys have completed successfully the first 10 years of EduTorque. What will the next 10 years look like for EduTorque?
Well, we want to revisit our goal we had in 2014 to go regional, as well as set up our alumni with no membership fees, which comprises of a community of car lovers and youths who attended our courses before. Because I saw a gap. Our course duration is usually around 20 hours for each school. And after that, sometimes we break connection with our students, although we try to keep in touch with them through Facebook, but there's no proper structure that we can actually continuously engage them for lifelong learning and feel their passion and interest in cars or anything automotive. So that's why we set up this alumni in 2020, this year actually, to promote lifelong learning and keep in constant contact with our ex-students and tell them that we're always there for them. If you want to have any courses, learn any new skills, want to have any good deals regarding about this trade itself, we'll be there to help them through this. So currently we have around 200 alumni youth members since inception. Okay. And we want it to grow so that we can provide more value to them, job opportunities, and hopefully a positive influence in our community.
Right.
And we're also forging new and strong partnerships like with Nitro, Automoment, and Group Academy to further value add our community of youths, as we strongly believe the education starts from young and lasts a lifetime.
Right. I have to agree with you. It's a lifetime lifelong learning is a very good motto, very good attitude, I guess, to adopt. Okay, one final question. You mentioned that part of your 2014 goals were to go beyond the shores of Singapore for EduTorque. Where are you planning to go?
Well, we intend to go maybe Southeast Asia region first. But because of the COVID-19 situation, so we are trying to go regional through maybe online means first now at the moment. Okay. Because we cannot travel out. Right. So it's very difficult to have physically there to conduct some training for certain groups of people who are interested to learn about cars.
Right.
So we are trying to make things accessible by going through video teaching, video teleconferencing, all these things to educate instead. But again, there's a challenge because number one, there could be a bit of a language barrier. We don't have a translator with us. And number two will be the internet connection. All this in Singapore, we're lucky in the sense that our network, everything is very strong.
Right.
Our infrastructure is strong. But not all other countries are that fortunate. So this is still a infancy stage. We are slowly planning a curriculum. Instead of going physical now, we're trying to make it go online. But again, that takes some time to develop. Just like the textbook, it took us around 3 to 4 years to fully develop the textbook and launch it. So it is back to where it started in terms of EduTorque for overseas regional market, basically.
Well, it sounds like an exciting future ahead. Mr. Lim, Kelvin, thank you so very much for joining us on Conversations with Nitro. And we wish you good luck and all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
If you're keen to find out more on EduTorque, head over to their website and slide them a message. That's it for this week's edition of Nitro on the Go. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button. Every click means the world to us. As always, thank you for watching and thank you for spending your time with me. Don't forget to share this video on Facebook with our Nitro on the Go hashtag for a chance to score our weekly swag bag giveaways. Hong here, signing off.